What is up, you guys? It is your boy, John, the voiceover guy here from Puma Plow. Welcome back to another On the Farm. Kind of the last one focusing on the John Deere 111. And today we are going to be working on the deck. Now, this deck did have some issues. The biggest issue is that the people that had the tractor before us put the wrong blades on there and kind of screwed up the bottom of the spindle there where the blade mounts. And it took us a little bit of time to work on that, because what they did is they put a blade with the wrong size hole and then tightened it all down, and it smushed the little part of the spindle there. And bit of an issue, but hey, welcome to another On the Farm. Thanks for clicking on the video, guys, and watching us work on this John Deere yet again. Like I said, this will be probably the last one focusing around the John Deere for at least a while. So it did take us quite a while to get these blades on here correctly. These are the correct blades. They're not OEM JD blades, but they are the correct blades with the correct size hole. And if you notice, they are very high lift blades, meaning when you chop, the clippings are going to go pretty far. So you can see what we're having to do is, file that piece of metal down the little nub right there. And like I said, because they screwed it up, people that had the tractor before us, there's lots of things with this tractor where you can really tell whoever had their hands into this tractor before did not know what they were doing, like, at all. And that might be shots, yeah, a little bit, but it's truth bullets. So they really didn't know what they were doing. So we got the blades on there, good to go, and then we decided to fix this little dent in the deck. Somebody had ran it into something once upon a time, and the blade was getting real close, and I think it was actually hitting at one point. So Dad put the wrench on there to hold it, and then get the big hammer going and just beat that dent right back out of there. Good to go. It'll buff out, it's fine. As long as the blade clears and there's enough room for that, it's good to go. So no big deal there, but somebody had run into something once upon a time with this tractor and just caused a little damage to the deck. So here we go. We're going to do it again, I believe. And it was really loud, so I will make sure I turn this actual audio down quite a bit when I finish editing here. Obviously, you're beating on metal with a giant hammer. It's going to be loud, so
much better.
There is that. That deck is not very thick, but that's pretty strong metal. It's pretty stout, so yeah. But got it out far enough to clear. We did replace every bearing on this deck. The spindle bearings and that pulley thing that Dad's messing with right there. Pulley thing. He's going to kill me for saying that. The idler and the other idler. All the bearings have been replaced. Yeah. This deck was in fairly rough shape as far as all the bearings are concerned. Like I said, they were all pretty well gone. And we're trying to figure out how to put this belt back on because we couldn't quite remember. But there we go. It sometimes happens when you get digging into projects. You're like, now, how did that go back together? Luckily, where Dad works, we could get breakdowns of the tractor. For some of the different stuff, we did use breakdowns to figure it out. But, for the deck, it's just take a little time, figure it out. No big deal. Put 2 springs back on, and we're good to go. So, some of the things that we replaced on this tractor, and Dad really wanted to make me a list, and he forgot, or we both forgot. PTO clutch, seat, every what's it called, pulley. We replaced the pulleys underneath. They were all junk pretty much. Idler pulleys, keep the drive belt tight, that kind of stuff. Those were all gone. Rear tires, starter, that's a big one. We did a starter. The old starter probably would have lived a little bit longer, but it growled. And it just got to the point where it was like not having it. So we definitely replaced the starter. The starter and the PTO clutch were probably the 2 biggest expenses. I mean, tires weren't cheap, don't get me wrong. They are off-brand tires, whatever, They work. The front tires still hold air, so that's good. We've had to do some engine work to the thing. The sump gasket, not the sump gasket. I'm just screwing this all up, aren't I? I wish I had a list in front of me. Dad was right. The breather gasket on the side of the motor was leaking oil quite heavily. So we have fixed that now. And there's probably going to be some more little minor issues as we go with this tractor because it's old. It has a lot of hours on it, I'm assuming. Oh, the other big thing that we did replace was the transmission. It's not new. It was off that other little JD that we cannibalized basically to make this one go. And yeah, obviously new blades, because like I said, the blades were wrong to begin with. So you can see that new starter right there. Really, really good starter. Works quite well. Fires right up now. I mean, even on a cold day, that thing just hits and goes. So it is quite awesome. But yeah, definitely tires, seat, PTO switch, all the idlers, every bearing basically on the tractor, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we are good to go now with JD, and we're going to head out and cut a little grass with it. It is a small tractor, keep in mind. We will not be cutting the grass every week at the farm with it. I don't even know how long I'm going to keep the thing. I could probably sell it and make a profit. I did say, I think in a previous video, I was going to talk about how much we have into this tractor. We have about $350 into it, I believe, somewhere roughly there. Dad gets all the parts cheap because he sells them, you know, so he can get them a little cheaper than like somebody walking in off the street, of course. And a lot of the stuff we put on was aftermarket, because you don't need to go with OEM John Deere. Just saying. Just saying. That might be blasphemy to some of you guys, but hey, like the PTO switch is OEM John Deere, though. That came from Amazon, actually. His dad could not get it. Now you can see we have a chute on here. We stole that off the other John Deere as well, and it works quite well. So John Deere's good to go, and it will live at the farm this year. I may sell it in the future. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. But I do appreciate you guys clicking on another On the Farm video. Make sure you hit that like button for more. Subscribe if you have not already done so. And until next week, where words will still be hard. Thanks for watching, and toodles.